Right, hello, and welcome back to the Crossword Vlog, aka Clog, Wednesday edition, and we've got some time to make up edition. We're currently 2 minutes and 22 seconds behind schedule, which is very disappointing given the kind of incredible Monday time. Um, but, in the grand scheme of things, well, technically we need to make up 4 minutes throughout this, but never say never. What is the benchmark here? 7 minutes 45 seconds on this Wednesday, on my best week ever. So it's a good time. It's a very strong time. It is beatable, but it would be hard to beat it by much, I would say. A bit of a choppy grid structure here. Not sure exactly what that means for the solve. This is a little bit of a scary like vacuum, not a lot of short stuff to sink quick answers into. But it could go either way. If these are gimmies, then you know, world's our oyster. So just my seating position, and without further ado, let's get started. Bert or Ernie, relaxed. Maybe ED ending is to Livy. I don't know. Uh, I have no idea. Many graphics in business presentations. Charts, maybe? Mild, maybe darn. No idea. Nonviolent. Okay, we're gonna have to come back to that. Wheel, maybe an Oreo. Maybe something ER. Maybe gala. Cruelest month, I guess August. Get ready to seal. Feel the pain, maybe ache. Okay. Feelings, maybe S here. City that had the final. Okay, we're gonna have to come back to that. First rate. Maybe just etc. Drawer or door part. No idea. Theater boxes. This could just be CBS, I guess. And then activity that turns an urban area into an obstacle course. Parkour. Haven't heard that in a while. A mug. Go with one's gut. Turns to someone. Something up. Gear up. Maybe April. Epic. Okay. And then that works with everything here. Peace March. Macho. Muppet. Uther, maybe? At ease. Tesla. Ahab's leg, maybe? ETA. Bit of everything. Turn airplane seat. Tray table? No, that doesn't work. Courageous, bold. Downside. Media. Lops off. Hoppy bar choice. IPA. Oxford English Dictionary. Those are doctors. 8 and 168. Okay. This is Yuri. Crayolas. Crayons, ABCs of something. Slatted case. Missile silos. A moral crate, I guess. Domain. Maybe ire here. Those are units. That was a rune. Put up with. Pull on, tug on. The Fighting Irish. 1 of 16. Emperor, I guess. The realm of something. Maybe it's just crayons. Long to. Must be an S there. Or maybe not. Mo? Is that right? Might have you put a belt on a belt. Your belt on a belt. Mexican money would be a peso. Samsung Galaxy. Media Diet. Pittsburgh. Org that might. TSA. Star. High in the sky. Do the math. CDs. Food tray. The con. Maybe. That's not really a thing. Go over again. Reread. Athlete. Feels the pain. Hurts. Wept. Path. Away, I guess. As is. Footrest. Strut, I guess. Intrepid. Door. Kapow, I guess. A knob. Keep in, maybe. Feelings. Enmities. Amps. Top notch. Motor. Row. All right. Well, that is quite a good time for a Wednesday, by my standards, of course. Let's go ahead and enter that in. So we did manage to make up, honestly, a good amount of time here, a whole minute back, so we're much closer to being on pace. Let's go ahead and admire the puzzle. So yeah, what was going on with this? I really didn't even read the clues on these for the most part, at least the crossed out part. So let's see if we can figure this out. Fair. Okay. Final letter of its names. Oh, okay. So Pittsburgh, I guess I didn't know this, went from having the H to not having the H back to having the H. And so these clues are if you like nonviolent protest is just peace march, but then peace mark, Mark Chagall, you would say, peace Mark Chagall, I guess. Put up wit, display some humorous posters. Put up wit. Okay, sure enough. Fighting iris. Fighting iris. I guess your iris is, staring in a staring contest, I guess. And then do the mat. Let's see that dance move where you lie flat by a door. Do the mat. Oh boy. So I think this theme doesn't quite work as a crossword theme, in that, as you saw, like I think when you do these wacky recluings, you want the thing in the grid to be the wacky thing. Um, because that forces you to interact with the theme. But there's nothing about the theme. Like the theme has perfectly valid clues for perfectly valid fill. Nonviolent protest is a peace march. And not only that, but you've sort of like crossed out the wacky bits, sort of encouraging people to ignore it. I mean, I could have read it, but I was just like, I don't think I need to right now. Um, and so, like, if you just have perfectly normal answers with perfectly normal clues. Like, what's the incentive for me to interact with this theme at all? And I also think the wacky clues aren't really like quite wacky enough. I think this theme would have worked a lot better if the H were removed on these things. And the fill was done that way. I think that's the only way to make this theme make sense. And I'm kind of confused why they sort of accepted this puzzle as is without that feedback. Like I'm all for wacky recluings, but it's just like there's no reason for me to interact with the theme as it is right now. Um, it didn't ruin the puzzle by any means. Like it because like you can sort of just treat this as a themeless, and all of these are perfectly good fill on their own. And I solved it as a themeless. So the theme didn't take away from the puzzle, but it added nothing, and it sort of yeah. I kind of wish that I had to put in fighting Iris and be like, oh, that's weird. Um, I also think yeah, the wacky recluings just weren't good. Like there's other ways to do the wacky recluings. I like to put up wit. Peace mark was fine, but like fighting Iris, I think that's a little strained. I would use like Iris as the flower, um, something along those lines, rather than like I don't know. It just feels like too much of a reach for like your Iris itself to be the fighting asset, right? Like I just I don't know. And then do the mat, like do the worm or like do the whatever. I guess, yeah. And again, it just felt a little strained there. But I did like the fill with throughout the puzzle, to be honest. As much as I'm being negative about the theme, I still enjoyed the puzzle overall. Again, because it was a themeless puzzle. Um, and middies, I kind of thought that was a nice one. I can imagine someone not liking that, but top notch, great. Intrepid. I like these little like vocab things that aren't like super obscure, but they're not like words that you see in crosswords all the time. Footrest, nothing wrong with that. Parkour, sort of blast from the past. It's very early 2000s, but um, it's cute. Um, a lot of nice like medium length fill, uh, some like partial phrases, which I tend to like. I know some other people don't. Um, there is stuff like Tor, not a huge fan of, but it's not that bad and it's crossed super fairly. Um, so yeah, where does this all end up? I think like looking at this puzzle as a whole and interpreting it as a themeless puzzle, it's actually quite good. It's like just good, clean fill all the way throughout. Um, and the fact that there is like at least an attempt at a theme, I'll give it like a tiny bonus for that. So I think overall, I will give this a 6.5 out of 10. I think this is better than the average Monday just in terms of cleanliness and all of that. I just like, yeah, the theme just didn't do much for me. I'm being too nice all the time, but I'm gonna give this one a 7. Official thing, locked in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.